So another point at which people arrive at looking at artwork management is through artwork creation and automation. Where are they coming from with that?
Well, if you take what they do now, or most businesses do now, they'll have an artwork team which is either internal to the business or external, or in fact they might have both. And they're being fed currently information to build an artwork. And we talk in one of the other videos about managing the documents and managing data rather than documents. And if a company spent millions of pounds putting in some form of control of how they manage their documents or their data, I don't care how much they spend, at the point they hand that over to the artwork team, they throw it over a wall and hope it gets done right. Because it's disconnected. It's not connected into the same process. And by that I mean the artwork team would receive maybe documents or maybe emails or whatever, and they'll start cutting and pasting, and they'll start retyping, and they'll start taking a barcode number and creating a barcode. So all of that data, however much has been spent to control it, is now disconnected in the artwork process. So for us, that's a real big weakness. And it was one of the first things we looked at, because what we wanted to do was say, well, how do we connect that together? How do we take that data that's been collected up front, and how do we get it into the artwork without any cutting and pasting, without any retyping in, without having to regenerate the barcode? So in Calix, what we have is we have basically two systems that connect the data. The first system we call semi-automated artwork. Some people call it dynamic artwork. Well, semi-automated artwork is where I'm using something like Adobe InDesign or Adobe Illustrator, and we actually have Quark Express as well. And in those three graphic products, we have a plugin. And the plugin basically allows that user on the Apple Mac or the PC to automatically stream the data down from the data collation process. He doesn't have to copy and paste anything. He doesn't have to retype anything in. And the system actually even generates the barcode from the data, so that can't be wrong. So well, the first time they build an artwork, it's really, really fast. But it's not about speed, it's about accuracy. I've now connected it, so all that effort I've put into approving the data and signing it off is now a value downstream. So that was the first thing that we did, or one of the things that we did. The thing that Calix is really famous for is the next step, which we call automated artwork. And that isn't a plug-in to an InDesign or an Illustrator or Quark Express. It's actually an automated process which takes the data and draws the artwork automatically. So there is no Apple Mac person involved. And people go, well, we've seen that before and it doesn't really work for us. A lot of people have tried to do that, and it is really tough. Because anybody that's built artwork normally knows that I've got not enough space for the copy, and I've got to start reducing the text, and I've got to hyphenate, and I've got to change the font, and I've got to do all sorts of things. Well, a real automated system has to handle all of that. So it has to go through the thought process that a person on an Apple Mac would do to build the artwork and make it fit in the real estate available. And that's what we do. So we have those two methods: streaming it into Adobe Illustrator, Quark Express or InDesign, or fully automating it in the automated artwork system. Now that has a number of benefits. It isn't just more accurate in artwork. The spin-off from that is that once the artwork's created, the likelihood of it being wrong is very small, so the risk of it wrong, and that has a knock-on effect to all the other departments that have to check the artwork, because everybody gets fed up of checking the artwork 2 or 3 times and going, I've told you what I need on it, why isn't it there? So that whole improving how the artwork's created and linking it to the data has a knock-on effect in terms of risk reduction and the resources required in the business and the frustration in terms of the approval process.